Hello! You are watching online robotics lesson with RoboCamp. The topic today is robotic helicopter, and this is the stage 2 out of 4. So far we have already learned some interesting facts about helicopters. Now we are about to start building our own robotic helicopter, and what's yet to come is understanding the construction and creating a program for it. If you are a student, for this stage you will need LEGO Education WeDo 2.0 set. Okay, it's the one I have right here in front of me. It's also right here behind me. Okay, you will also need 2 charged batteries to make sure that your smart hub works. Now, if you are a teacher, hello there, I'm glad you're watching this. Now, remember that all the materials you're seeing behind me, you can also use with your students. Now, this is only an example of many other lessons that you can use. If you'd like to see them or learn more about us, go to our website or click some of the links we have in our description. Finally, everyone, if you like this video, leave us a thumbs up. And now, let's start creating a robot. All right, let's start by uncovering the box. As you can see, I have all the bricks here. They are all sorted according to their tray and stickers. And believe me, that is way to go. When you have all bricks sorted out, building is faster, finding bricks is easier. Overall, it's a better experience. So if you have a sorting tray like this one, I do definitely recommend you to use it. It's so much better than just keeping all the bricks in one container, you know? Okay, so here's how this is going to work. Behind me, you will see instructions, step-by-step instructions, and in the top right corner right here, you'll be able to see how my construction looks like. Now, I will move those bricks aside so that it's actually easier for me to find those parts, and you'll be able to see how I connect them over here. Okay, for the first step, we need a smart hub and one yellow plate, 2 per 4 studs. Now right here above my head, you can see the parts necessary for each given step. Okay, so first let's find those elements. One's right here. And the plate is over here. And all that's left to do is to connect it. Okay, I can see the before, but here's how it should look after. Now, you can already at this point insert your batteries inside your smart hub. Just open it like so. Okay. You can also do this later, for example, if you know that your batteries are not charged yet. Okay. This step is done. Let's see what's next. Now I need to find 2 Technic bricks, not very big, and install them like so. Next, we are putting this element aside, and we need to find long plate that is 12 studs long. If you're not sure how long that is, it's probably the longest plate like this one you have in your set. We also need 2 bricks with those pins built in them. I have all the elements, and here's how it should look like. Okay, Next, we need to find those two connectors, which are right here. Okay, and install them like so. Now watch out, because there are actually two holes in these elements. So make sure that you connect them exactly as it is shown in the instructions. And they are a bit wobbly right now. They can move around as much as they want, as much as they like, and they are falling down, but don't worry about this for now. Okay, now we need to connect these parts. Okay. Oops, not the way to go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next, we need to find, once again, the longest plate there is in a WeDo set. And those two bricks with pins sticking out of them. Okay. And I bet that we are building another, how do you think what this is? What part of a helicopter could this be? And we need two, mind you. All right. And next we need to install it right here. Okay, have you guessed? It kind of looks like landing skis of a helicopter, doesn't it? Okay. Next, we are going to need the motor of our set. It's not in the sorting tray, all the electronics are below it, okay? And we also need an axle that is 7 studs long. Now, if you are not sure if your axle is actually 7, 5, 6 studs long, well, the easiest way to check it is to actually take a very, very long brick, like this one. Then, take your axle and, like so, count the studs. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is the axle that I want for this step. However, be mindful to count studs and not the holes on the side, because the number will of course be different. Okay, so what do we have to do? We need to insert this axle into the motor. Done. Let's see what's next. Now we're adding the first gear of our construction together with a small bushing. Okay, let's install it right here. Oh, you see, it shouldn't be actually as far. Now, are you guys keeping up with the building? I bet you are building faster than me. Okay, all right, everyone. This is how this element should look like. Now, let's see the next step. Okay, so we need a very, very small Technic brick and a bushing slightly wider this time, a gray one. Okay. All right, For now, this element will not be very stable. It will keep rotating, turning. Don't worry about it. Okay, now we need one more Technic brick, small Technic brick, and an axle connector. And even though all my elements are sorted out, oh yes, there it is. For a moment there I thought I wasn't gonna find it, but here it is, fortunately. So let's connect these elements. One brick goes here, and the connector goes right over there. Okay, push it as far as you can, and as you can see, I need to actually adjust my construction. Now I know that all these elements are close, so I need to push them a bit forward. This is how it looks like right now. Okay, next we need to find another axle that is 7 studs long and connect it right here. Make sure you push it until it reaches, well, the limit here of this connector. And once we've done that, let's go to the next step, where we need another gear, this type of different type and with a different number of teeth, only 12 this time. And once again we need a small Technic brick, which should go right here at the very end of this axle. Okay. Now we need to connect these parts together. Okay, first, if you're not sure how to do this, first let's position them exactly as they are shown in the instructions. And then we need to turn this around as well, like so. I'll show you on a close-up how those two parts should be connected. Alright, so the very end of our motor must be connected right here. And consequently, those bricks need to be next to the very end, but not at the edge of the smart hub. Okay, now make sure you connect these. You can also kind of try to push them together like so to make sure that they stick. Don't worry about this one, it's not connected to anything, so it's gonna run around freely for now. However, what we need to do as well as this step is to connect the cable from the motor to the smart hub. We need to plug this in, otherwise, well, the motor won't be working and we don't want that. Okay, next we're going to push this aside just for a moment and take care of some other steps. Now I need to find a long Technic brick with, well, 12 studs. Okay, let's get to it. 1, 2, 3. Alright, it's this one, and we also need those two funny looking yellow bricks. They're slightly cut from sides, as you can see. Okay, now we need to connect them upside down. All right. Now we need to find this angled brick or rather round brick. Well, no, it's not really round, it's rounded. It's right here. All right. And now we need to connect this part right here. How do you think, what part is it? I think it's pretty obvious. It's the tail, isn't it? All right. Now this is how it looks like. Let's go see what's next. Yeah, we need to find another brick that is 12 studs long, just like we did a few steps ago. And those 2 yellow bricks. Okay. And this time the rounded brick goes on the other side. An interesting twist. We're not done with this part yet. We need to actually find a bevel gear, a bushing, and an axle. Bevel gear, bushing. Notice that for this step we need actually an axle that has a stop at the very end. Okay, now we need to be very careful when it comes to bevel gears because they have to be, well, in exactly the position they are in the instructions, okay? So here's how it should look like. All right. And only now are we connecting this part to the rest of our construction. Should go right here on the same level. By the way, as you're connecting, make sure you flip this block right here to be in the right position as it is shown in the instructions, okay? Upside down, like the rest of the elements here. Okay. And something interesting already happens here. If you look closer at the tail of your robot, you'll notice that the teeth of those 2 gears are meshed right now. Now, this is a sign that something will happen here, and since this axle is connected directly to the motor, well, we know that the drive and the movement will be transferred further here. But we still have a way to go, so let's see what the next step holds. For this step we need one small white plate that is only 4 studs long and this funny looking element as if it had teeth. It should also be, it is just as long as this plate, okay? Now let's connect them both to our construction. All right, the plate should go right here on top. Now be gentle with this because it's actually quite easy to break off the tail of our construction and we don't want that, do we? Now I'm not exactly sure where I should place this element, so I will switch the view. Okay, now it's much more clear. It goes right here, upside down, like so. Okay, Now we need some other elements. We need 3 plates, 3 small ones that are only 4 studs long, and 1 wheel. Okay, everything is here. All that's left to do is to connect it. Let's position it exactly as it is shown in the instruction. 1, 2, 3. Well, it kind of looks like a rotor, doesn't it? So let's see what we need to do with it. Yeah. We need to install it right here where the tail rotor should be. Okay, so let's place this element on the axle. Ooh. Oops. As you can see, it's quite tricky, but I'm sure we can do it. Yeah, right here. Okay. Let me show you how it looks like. Make sure that the axle stays here. And now we are adding a decorative element, this small ball. It goes at the end of our axle right here. And it fits perfectly. All right. Well, our construction starts look a bit like a helicopter, but something is still missing around this part. Okay, so let's see what the next step holds. We have a lot of plates here. 1 small one, 2 slightly bigger ones. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is how we connect them. Kind of like an H. And now we need 1 more plate. This time a small one, only 4 studs long. And this round plate, it should go right here. Okay, next we need to find an axle 4 studs long with a stump, bushing, and a small gear with 12 teeth. Okay. So this is how I am going to connect it. This goes right here. And the bushing, I suppose it goes underneath. Okay. Next we need some yellow bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, guys, have you ever been on board of a real flying helicopter? Would you like to? I know that some people are actually afraid of flying, and that's okay too. But personally, I think I would love such a ride. Okay, this is how my element looks like. And now we need those 2 slanted gray bricks. Where shall I find them? Right here. Now, remember guys that if I'm going too fast or too slow for you, you can always go back. You can always pause this video, okay? Complete this robot at your own pace. It's okay. Remember that actually when it comes to building robots, it's much more important to be, well, slower, but make fewer mistakes while building because, well, later on when the robot is completed, it's much harder to correct those construction mistakes. Okay, this is how it looks like. Great. And now we need to connect this. Here's how it looks like from one side and from the other. Okay, good. Now I will I'll show you on a close-up how to connect these elements. First, I'm going to kind of change the position of my construction like it is shown in the instructions. And now place it exactly where it should be, which is right here. Okay. Okay. This is how it looks like. Now let's go back to the instructions. Now we need to push this aside and take on some plates. 2 thin ones, 6 studs long, and 1 slightly thicker one. Okay, and we need to place them like so. We need 2 very, very tiny, not the tiniest, but certainly tiny plates. They're here. And also 2 smooth plates. Okay. Alright, so the smooth plates go right here on top. And the smaller ones go underneath. Okay, now we need to find those green bricks you can see behind me. And connect them like so. Okay. This is how it looks like. Okay, now we need to find a round translucent brick. It's right here. And we need to place it right here. Done. Next, please. Okay. Now we need plates, lots of different plates. Now, once again, if you are not sure how to connect these elements, make sure you hold your construction exactly as you can see them in the instructions, okay? And then, well, simply look for differences. If everything looks identical, that means you're doing a great job. Okay, now we need smooth plates. And the green slated bricks. Okay. I'm going to switch the view because I'm not sure where exactly they should go. Okay, now it's much more clear. Okay. Now we need to connect them and create a main rotor for the helicopter. Okay, it's quite big, bigger than my hand. I'll show you how it looks like on a close-up. Now let's mount it on this axle of our helicopter right here. Oh, of course we need to connect it by using this axle over here and this round brick in the middle of our main rotor. Okay. Make sure you push it well. And notice that you cannot really move it. How do you think, why is that? Well, if we follow this axle, it is connected to the motor and motor does not move right now, which is why we cannot really make this main rotor rotate freely yet. But soon enough we will create a program that will propel those rotors for us, so don't worry. And now let's finish our construction by adding a sensor, a tilt sensor. Now, thanks to using sensors, we also need one smooth round plate. Thanks to using sensors in constructions, we can create much more interesting programs. Okay, here it is. And where should it go? Not yet, not yet. Okay, we need to find this round plate with a stud in the middle of it. Let's install it exactly as we can see it in the instruction. And adjust its position slightly. Ah, yes, finally, we're installing the sensor underneath the helicopter. So let's switch the view. Where should it go? Yeah, it should go right here. Now I'll switch to a close-up so that you can see better. Okay. So we need to use those bricks to connect it right here. And let's not forget to plug in the cable of the sensor into the remaining free socket of a smart hub. Okay, watch out for those cables, they are important. All right. This is how the construction, complete robotic helicopter looks like. All right, everyone, good job. Now take a moment, compare your robots to mine, also to the one you can see behind me, okay? And try to look for any differences, okay? If there are some, don't mind the cables. If there are some, make sure you fix them so that your robot resembles as closely the robot you see behind me. Now, this way ensures that there won't be any problems once we activate it. All right, everyone. So now that we have completed this building stage, there's one more step we need to complete before we create the program for this cool little robot. And that is, of course, understanding how this construction works before we actually code it. Other way is the wrong way to go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being very patient with my building skills. And I will see you in the next video where we explore and check this construction in a bit of more detail. I'll see you in the next video.